Football is a simple game, really. 22 players chase a ball for 90 minutes, and at the end, someone hopefully scores. But every now and then something truly special happens. A moment of pure, unadulterated genius that makes you leap from your seat. It's that split second when a player does the impossible. They see a pass no one else sees. They strike the ball with a power you can't quite believe. They dance through an entire team as if they weren't even there. These are the moments that we all live for as football fans. They are the reason we brave the cold, the rain, the despair of a loss. These goals are more than just a point on the scoreboard. They are stories, told in a single breathtaking motion. So let's take a journey back in time. We are going to relive 5 of the most extraordinary goals ever scored. These are the goals that defied logic, broke hearts, and wrote legends. Let's get started with our countdown. Our countdown begins with a goal of such unbelievable audacity, you have to see it to believe it. We're talking about Zlatan Ibrahimovic's overhead kick against England in 2012. Zlatan had already scored a hat trick, but what he did next was out of this world. The ball was cleared high by Joe Hart rushing out of his box. He was 30 yards from goal, back to it, the ball dropping from what felt like a mile high. Instead of controlling it, he did the unthinkable. He launched himself into the air, twisting his giant frame and connected with a perfect overhead kick. The ball soared in a magnificent arc over the defenders' heads and looped perfectly into the empty net. The stadium erupted. Even England fans couldn't help but applaud. It wasn't just a goal, it was a statement. Zlatan telling the world he operates on a different level. It won the FIFA Puskas Award. It could have won the decade. Football can be fun. It can be outrageous. It can be utterly bonkers. A truly unforgettable moment from one of the game's biggest characters. Next up, we have a goal that seemed to defy the very laws of physics. It comes from the boot of the Brazilian left-back Roberto Carlos in a 1997 match against France. Brazil had a free kick about 35 meters out, positioned far to the right. Fabian Barthez set up his wall, feeling reasonably safe. Roberto Carlos took a long run-up, approaching from an angle. He struck it with the outside of his left foot, rare for long-range free kicks. The ball initially flew miles wide. A ball boy 10 yards right of the post ducked, but then, something extraordinary. The ball began to bend and bend and bend. It swerved back towards goal, curled around the wall, smashed in off the inside of the post. Barthez frozen, rooted to the spot. He just stood there staring. The crowd, the players, everyone watching at home, stunned silence. It didn't look real. It was a moment of pure, unexplainable magic. Scientists later studied it, explaining it with the Magnus effect, but on that day it just felt like sorcery. This goal is legendary, unique, a perfect storm of immense power and impossible spin, the ultimate example of how to make a ball swerve, a true banana shot for the ages. Coming in at number 3 is a goal from a player many consider the greatest of all time, and honestly, this goal is one of the biggest reasons why. We're talking about Lionel Messi for Barcelona against Getafe in 2007. At the time, Messi was just a teenager. This was the moment he announced his arrival as the heir to a footballing throne. He picked up the ball inside his own half, just to the right of the center circle. What followed was 60 yards of pure, unadulterated genius. He began to run. He skipped past one opponent. He nutmegged another. He slalomed, weaving in and out, the ball glued to his left foot as if by a string. Getafe's players closed in, trying to tackle him, but he was too quick. He carried the ball into the penalty area, having beaten almost the entire opposition. The goalkeeper rushed out. Messi was a step ahead, a calm, subtle feint. He rounded the keeper. From a tight angle, Messi clipped the ball into the net with his right foot. Camp Nou erupted. Teammates mobbed him, stunned. It echoed Maradona's goal of the century. A 19-year-old producing that was staggering. It wasn't just a goal, it was a coronation. Messi showed he could carry the torch. It showcased everything: his impossible close control, his low center of gravity, his blistering pace, his ice-cool composure. A truly breathtaking moment of individual brilliance. And here it is, the number 1. The goal that stands above all others. It is, quite simply, the goal of the century. We are in Mexico, at the 1986 World Cup quarter-final between Argentina and England. Just 4 minutes after his controversial Hand of God goal, Diego Maradona would score a goal of such sublime beauty. He received the ball deep inside his own half, on the turn, surrounded by teammates. Then, the magic began to unfold. He pirouetted away from 2 English midfielders and began his charge towards goal. The pitch was bumpy, the air thin from the altitude, but none of it mattered. He just ran, and ran, and ran. He glided past another player, then another. The English players were chasing shadows, like a master artist with a brush and a canvas. He wasn't just running, he was dancing. The world held its breath as he approached the penalty area, until only goalkeeper Peter Shilton stood in his way. With a final deceptive shimmy, he rounded Shilton and, with the goal gaping, calmly slotted it home. The commentator screamed, "Genius! Genius! Genius!" A World Cup quarter-final tension at its peak, creating individual magic under immense pressure. 60 yards, in just over 10 seconds beating 5 players. It will quite simply never be bettered.